Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awkward Everything, the show that brings you all of your weekly awkwardness in just 30 minutes. I am your host, Jordan Ledge. With me is Kristen Wilson, Devin Rogers, and Brad Weeds.
And we will pay
One
you to
terrible
never...
accent. Ha ha ha.
We'll pay you
no.
not to do that again.
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited. And Kristen, why don't you tell them why I'm so excited?
Because I have a French fry in my mouth. It's October.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Explain the accent. That's Dracula.
No one can explain that.
It's the count.
I don't count Dracula. Count
No.
same thing. It's all the same.
One shitty podcast. Ha ha ha.
Two shitty podcasters.
We're all shitty
Very
podcasters.
true.
Yeah, we should just skip to 4.
I can't count either.
Well, we know.
So we're so excited. We have a
Because
lot lined up for you.
11:30 doesn't exactly equal up to.
No, I got here late today
12:30.
because I was in the process of doing something big in my life. So I'm sorry it took me a few extra minutes.
Look at you
We mean nothing to him.
I was adulting this morning. I'm sorry. But we are excited because October is going to be such a big month for our show. We're going to be putting out a lot of videos, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of things to come. We're going to keep it under wraps, so it's still early October. So a lot of the big stuff's coming towards the end. Mainly because we're lazy and
Stuff
we're pushing
always
it
comes
off.
towards the end.
So, everything we're going to be talking about now is all October themed. So everything from your pumpkin spice lattes.
Your pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Do you all like the pumpkin spice lattes?
No.
I love it. The orange is my life.
Pumpkin, not orange.
I know, but the color of it is orange.
Oh.
So
And it's so pleasing.
So basic.
I work at a coffee shop, and so I drew the little dude from Charlie Brown sitting in his little pumpkin patch, but his little sign says, "Welcome, pumpkin spice latte." And it's not really adorable because I'm not very good at what I do, but the thought was nice.
The thought is all that matters. I mean,
My thought was nice.
I got upset when I realized the pumpkin starts coming out now in mid-September.
It's not mid-September.
But that's when it came out. I mean, that's when they start putting
Yeah.
out this pumpkin crap. And my wife baked a pumpkin cake. I'm like, what are you doing? He says, it's pumpkin. I said, no, not until October you can't do anything pumpkin.
That is false.
No, I mean,
Jesus.
Pumpkins can be harvested mid-September.
I don't care when they can
Yeah.
be harvested. I'm not going to put anything in my
So-
mouth pumpkin until October 1st till October 31st.
Well, that's your own personal choice.
Right.
Don't tell
and
the
probably a
pumpkins
little
how
after
to
that
live
too,
their
because
life.
you get that pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. It's delicious.
Hey, Jordan, what's the date today?
That's in like late November.
No, the show is recorded earlier, so technically when the show is released, it is October. So we're
No,
fine.
but pumpkin pie. You said I will not have my pumpkin until October 1st.
Yes, that's
until
when you
the
start.
end of October.
No, that's prime time.
No, and then so guess what?
Prime time is
Thanksgiving.
different from the only time.
Thanksgiving is in November.
Don't try to use logic you hear. Okay, you all don't
No,
use
okay.
logic on me.
Don't
I
try to
use
have
logic on
wrong
you.
opinions. They're wrong.
Right.
And opinions.
Comes from the basic girl that drinks a pumpkin spice latte.
Yes,
Do
proudly.
you
From
wear
the-
Uggs when you drink it?
Do I what?
Uggs
Wear
are
Uggs.
the best.
Okay, I don't have a pair of real Uggs.
They're
Well,
expensive
Mine.
shoes.
You would be basic if you had the money to be basic.
Well, yes.
Okay.
But Kristen's mom gave me some black Uggs. I just don't have them because
They're in
Kristen
my
has
car.
them. So,
So she will have her Uggs today, and she will drink her pumpkin spice latte later.
with whip, whip,
whip,
Whip.
whip,
and then my dog will have a puppuccino.
And he will be wearing a pumpkin sweater. No, his skull sweater that he got for his birthday.
Or his moose sweater.
From Mama Chris.
Okay, we're moving back into the Halloween spirit here.
We
So-
are Halloween.
We're talking about pumpkins.
and sweaters.
And dog sweaters. That's
Yeah.
why
That's
I'm
very
done.
Halloween. Oliver is small. He gets cold.
What's Oliver gonna be for Halloween?
I don't know.
We're gonna
Oh
go.
wait, we're gonna do. I thought about doing Dorothy and then having Oliver be Toto.
But he won't wear a costume for that.
Well, that's
Perfect.
because he doesn't
'Cause
need
he's
it.
not
He should
going
be
He's
to.
a
not gonna wear
shark.
costumes. so
He
it's
could be
fine.
Shark Puppy.
That's what Baxter is.
Yeah, but we can burn his costume. And
Okay, moving on.
Just
When you start
kidding.
talking about breaking the law on the podcast, technically I have to stop
Burning
you.
clothes is not against the law.
Are they your clothes?
They're dog's
Yes.
clothes.
Whose dog? Okay, so that's where
Mine.
that's where the line
I
gets
mean,
drawn.
it depends who feeds and waters him.
Moving on. So we got a lot of great things to talk about today. We're gonna start off a little easier. Let's talk about some one of part of our podcast at least favorite horror TV shows, American Horror Story. And right now
Oh.
we wow.
You just
She's
smacked the
excited.
mic with your
I
face.
did.
Um,
I smacked the
We
thing.
just started season 7 here a few weeks ago, so we're getting into. We're finally starting to see some development in the characters, some backstory,
Please stop wiggling.
some really weird looking clowns.
No, but can we just take a second? Like, Evan Peters was in the first episode as compared to the shitty last season, where he was not in any episode until like the 6th one or something shitty.
I didn't like the last. I didn't like the last 2 seasons. No, I'm sorry. I didn't like the carnival, and I didn't like the hotel.
I liked Freak Show. It wasn't my favorite, but I liked it. Hotel had so much potential, and I was so ready for it, and I absolutely adored Mr. March, but they did not do anything with him, and they were too focused on Gaga.
Yeah, but I thought Gaga did a good job.
She did a good
I was
job,
surprised.
but it was too much like Gaga, vampire babies. Like, you have this hotel and all this creepy shit
Spoiler
happening.
alerts.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. It's been out forever.
So let's do this. Let's walk down here. All right, season 1.
I was gonna
you
go
got
watch it
Murder
today.
House. What do we
I
think?
loved
I
the
loved
Murder
her.
House.
That was
Okay.
the first one that got me in, and it was fantastic.
Yes.
So we have season 2. We had the Asylum.
I don't want to say I
liked it.
hated it,
It was
but I hated
different.
the ending.
I think.
Well,
yeah. See,
I thought the
liked-
ending
liked the
was
twist at the
really
end.
dumb. It wasn't really a
Well,
twist,
no.
though.
There was too much going on. They were like, aliens, asylums, demons, like so much shit. And I'm like, and it wasn't like a bunch of shit at once. It was just like a bunch of shit, and then they like just didn't touch on some of it again.
So you had number 3, which is my personal favorite, The Coven.
Loved Coven.
I
love
didn't
Witches.
like
best
Coven.
one.
I thought it was
liked
just
it.
a lot of bitching, and I
Yeah.
hear a lot of bitching every day in my life. And I think I was in a sorority at that point.
Maybe.
Brad, have
And-
you seen any of the American Horror Stories?
None.
You're off? Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
No
He's
idea.
just here,
You're out on this one.
just enjoying
Completely
life.
lost.
So then
Eating
after
cupcakes.
Coven, we went to was that
Coven?
Freak Show after Coven?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
for Freak
loved
Show.
Freak Show.
I didn't love it, but I liked it. I'm actually rewatching Freak Show right now. I don't know why.
I watched
but
like the first half of the season, and I just fell out. It got too.
there was again a lot going on, but I liked it enough. I thought it was
Okay.
alright.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to say I loved it, but like I liked it a lot.
Right.
Then we went on number 5, which was the hotel.
Yeah.
I haven't finished Hotel.
See,
I didn't
And I
finish it
haven't
either.
seen Roanoke.
I got to the episode where Evan Peters came in as the murderer,
mm-hmm.
but that's where I ended.
Well, that I was like, because they were talking about how they based him on like H.H. Holmes and the hotel and all that, and I was like, this is gonna be the best fucking season.
Yeah.
And then they're like, just kidding, vampires, vampire babies, this crazy detective, and there's just
It's a lot like Waverly Hills.
yeah,
Like they have
Yeah.
such an amazing like background and like story that they could use, but Halloween they just have a really dumb
regular haunted house.
regular haunted house with like werewolves,
So then we
as
moved.
you can hear in the background.
Yes, we have a dog that's in the background today, getting a little excited, barking.
He wants to be featured today.
He does.
It's all about Oliver all the time. and
What's
she's
his name?
jealous.
It's Brad's dog. Brad, what's your dog's
It's
name?
Lindsay.
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 Lindsay's awfully loud this
His
morning.
name is Lindsay.
Brad, why'd you name your man
My
dog Lindsay?
autobiography.
It's not a man dog, and I didn't name her.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Was that-
I
did you give
adopted
a
her, and
shelter?
that was her name. Yeah.
Aw,
She's
shelter
precious.
dog. Brad, you're so great.
I've changed
She's
the name
wild.
of shelter
The few
dogs.
times I've hung out with
She
her,
is.
she'll whoop
She's
your butt.
energetic.
Moving on to keep on. Okay, now season 6 was Roanoke. I watched the
Yes.
first
It was
episode and I didn't watch the rest
actual
of it.
shit.
They
Okay.
had such a good. It could have been such good though with Roanoke. It could have been a great.
Right. Well, I was like, the Roanoke
story.
thing is cool, and they were going on like we're doing our own thing, which is cool too. But then they're like,
And you got Cuba
we're
Gooding
gonna
Jr.
set it up like a reality show and all this
Yeah, that
stuff,
was weird,
and like
that
no
aspect.
Evan Peters, and like that's your big selling point, bitches.
Yeah,
Fucking
once
use it.
what's her name left? What was the girl that was in all of it for the longest time?
Jessica Lange. She
Yeah,
left.
once she left, Evan
at
Peters
Freak
kind of
Show.
became the new lead of the,
Yeah.
the series, and you need, and that's what. Okay, then jumping forward now into season 7, I think that's what they've done so good with this season so far is they're really focusing on him and his
Yeah.
character from the very beginning.
But it's not like too much. They're not like, oh, it's all about Evan Peters.
No, there's still
like,
a lot of mystery to it.
Right.
It's all, like, I think it's really nice.
I
and-
love it.
And as we just finished up season 4, which was 11/9, was the name of the
Episode
episode. Episode 4. That was
Season 7.
season 7, episode 4.
7?
Yes, season 7, episode 4, named 11/9. We just finished that one up. We saw a little bit of backstory since this season started, which is really cool. Kind of seeing how Evan Peters' character kind of put his gang together, and we're kind of seeing what it all means.
Right. Well,
And
I have a
what do you
lot
think
of
about-
theories.
What do you think about Billy on the Street being in American Horror Story? What's your feelings on that?
Wait, what?
You ever seen Billy on the Street?
No.
That's the guy that's in the American Horror Story. He's the husband. He's the gay guy. That's the husband to Meadow.
I absolutely love him.
He's like True TV's. I think it's True TV's Billy on the Street.
Oh, I've never seen that,
Yeah.
but I thought he
I don't like that
was
show, so I was worried about it. But he's
fantastic, and I
Yeah.
loved like him and Evan Peters together. Was awesome. Lots of Evan at the gym.
I thought that Evan was gonna make out with him like 3 different times.
I was wanting him to make out with him. I was like, come on, just kiss him. Just do it.
shipping.
didn't happen.
Shipping.
No, duh.
No, okay. I ship the husband with the cop, Colton something. I don't know what his name is, but he's
The husband.
I just want to point
Yeah.
out that Oliver just let a really low.
the gay husband
with the
cop, the
gray-haired
blonde cop.
Well, I think that's what's actually happening.
No, I know, and I think that the blonde cop is obviously in the cult. Everybody thinks
Yes.
that. Everybody that's not Sarah Paulson is in the cult. Even the
Pretty
child.
much.
Everyone is in the cult.
I think the child's in the cult. I'm pretty sure he's the
I
leader of
don't
the
either.
cult.
But I think that the clown that was getting fucked in the produce section was the cop, and then the fucking clown was the husband.
Oh, that's an interesting theory.
The fuck E.
The fucky was the cop, and the fucker was the man.
Pitching and catching.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's gonna be a great season. I think it's building up to be the best season. So, and I love.
I'm not gonna say that yet, but I'm
it's
really
building.
liking it.
And I love how in the earlier episodes it was more just kind of the basic fears of people, but now we're putting more into like the realistic fears, like political parties, and how with Donald Trump winning the election, it changed a lot of people's views on how they view the world.
Right.
And like shit like this can actually happen.
I don't think it changed anyone's view on how they view the world.
I think
Oh,
they're
I
just
think
more.
No, everyone still sucks.
Yeah.
They're more of like, oh, I can express it now,
Yes.
Yeah,
and like,
they don't
Yes.
change their
You
view.
saw that
they
a
have
lot.
the
They're
same
more
view.
freely
Yeah.
to say what they feel and do what they want.
Which in America doesn't really need to happen.
you saw that a
I
lot.
don't really
with,
care about other people's feelings.
I love his hair. I love Evan Peters' hair. The blue.
I hate it. I hate it with a passion, but I will gladly.
But I think it's good for
Pull
his
it
character. I love his
Oh, it
character.
fits
habit.
totally. Like,
And the whole the pinky
yeah.
lock is really.
Well, I think
Nice
it's
touch.
hilarious. I get on Tumblr all the time. I'm that person, and all these people are like, "Oh my god, I can't stand Evan Peters' character. You finally did it. You finally made a horrible character." And I'm like, "You just don't like him because you think he's a Trump supporter. I don't. I think he's just an anarchist, but whatever."
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I was like, okay, so Tate is a horrible fucking person. He's awful. I adore him. I adore Evan Peters. I love him. But Tate's horrible. Mr. March is horrible. He's like a sadistic serial killer. But because this kid voted for Trump, you're like, oh my god, he's
They're
awful.
like, murders are bad, but racists are worse.
But
To be
Trump
fair,
is the worst. If you vote for Trump, all of a sudden
Kai
it's
is
the worst
also
thing
a
you can
murderer. But
do. Murder we can get by with. Trump supporter, it's just that's where we
Uh-uh.
draw the line. I mean, I don't know.
right.
And that's what I think is really cool because you have like Evan Peters was doing an interview and he said he's gotten so much hate mail
Yeah.
because of this.
Oh, we've talked about this a lot
Yeah.
amongst ourselves, and
it's
the fact that
ridiculous.
people lately, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is
I've
when
noticed
people,
it more and more and more lately.
Yeah, that people are confusing the characters for the actors,
Right.
and they're not finding the line, and it's like so awful because if they're like, oh, I just love like Magnus Bane, they'll send hate mail to like Harry's wife, like
Yeah.
telling her she's awful, and
Because
that-
she married someone that she loves. And
Well, I think
and it's like Harry isn't
You're too
gay.
good of an actor.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop.
Or actor.
Well, I know it's hard to believe he's not a ghost murderer, claw-handed Trump supporter, but he's
Right.
not.
like
he's an actor, and that's
a
his job.
amazing
And he plays
actor.
it greatly.
Right,
He
he's
plays it so great.
He's really good at being a racist, but that doesn't mean that he is.
So
Right.
what I think we're going to do
As
is
well as
we'll
murder.
keep this American Horror Story going every week. I want to definitely keep it up to date and
At least,
keep.
yeah, because I watch it every.
It's such a good show. But moving on now, because we do have other things to talk about today. And we can do a whole show on American Horror Story.
Probably.
Mhm.
But
Except Brad
I
would
couldn't.
be entertained.
We're going to move into movies now. So I wanted to ask you all,
Move into movies.
give me like one or two of your, like every year when Halloween gets here, you have to watch this. What is it?
Definitely Hocus Pocus because that's my mom's favorite movie in the entire world.
I loved
So-
like Halloween Town, but like just like the
I
first
love
two.
Halloween Town too. But yeah, Hocus Pocus, we watch it multiple times within the.
There's not a lot
Halloween
of like
time.
actual horror movies that I feel like I have to watch because
No.
most of the horror movies are awful.
Yeah.
So
But I think my nephew really likes Nightmare Before Christmas, so we watch that too. And
But it's
Well-
mostly like just regular. Like
My pick is a terrible horror movie.
What is it?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It's great.
So after the podcast one day, we're
I
all gonna
think-
sit here and watch it.
I feel like
can.
I've watched
have it
part
upstairs.
of it,
Mm-hmm.
and like I didn't understand what the fuck was
Oh,
going
Question:
it's
Are
on.
there
so
killer
bad.
clowns in space in this?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
But
weirdly
but they're
enough.
clowns with a K.
Oh,
It's Killer Clowns and it's KK
KK
from Outer Space.
clowns. All right then.
KK clowns.
I'm interested.
Well, that sounds like American Horror Story.
Basically.
I think mine would have to be Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town. I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
Halloween
I
Town.
love
But they ruined the last one. I don't count the fourth one. I count the first three: Halloween Town, Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, and Halloween Town
Yeah,
High.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
The
the
fourth one they
high
changed
school
the
one.
main character.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
was
no.
so pissed
And if
off.
you're gonna
Can't
do
do
that,
that.
you have to change who she is. You can't say this is still Marnie
No.
when it's obviously not Marnie.
No.
Like, look at her. She doesn't even look like her.
right.
So speaking of Hocus Pocus, I do have some rather bad news about
Oh,
Hocus Pocus,
no.
and a lot of people are really upset about this.
I don't know what it is, and I'm already upset.
Disney Channel has announced they're doing a remake of Hocus Pocus with none of the original cast.
Oh.
What's with all the remakes? Like
They-
you
they
hit
have
it,
run
did
out of ideas.
well, so they're like, we can redo this well.
you're like, but
they-
no, because the part of the reason that it did so well is the
It was the
nostalgia
original.
value.
Well, that and then when you have people playing these roles, you know, like Sarah Jessica Parker and Betty Midler, they are just such powerful characters. Like, that's what you remember about it. You don't remember the story. You don't remember the main
Yeah,
girl
shit,
that
I don't
shot the
remember the
kid.
story.
But the three witches and
Right.
all that's what you remember about it. And like the funniest jokes and like the nostalgia of thinking and going the three witches
Right.
and
Well,
being
and
idiots.
even it's like, okay, I get when they remake it, but that has not, it's not that old.
It
to
came out in
remake.
1993.
Right. I feel like
I don't
that
need to
should
be
not
remade.
be remaking that yet.
Yeah, thanks. No, it still holds quality, and most of the people that would watch the remake are still watching the original.
Exactly.
You don't do a remake until no one is watching the original anymore.
And then you're like, you know what? We should
Like
try
It.
to bring
Yeah,
back
like
into
It.
life. Yeah.
It was 23 years. If you wait 20, well, it's been 23
27.
years.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
doesn't
was
ma- that's a
27.
bad
It's
Let's
been
try that.
exactly
27.
27, which
All right,
is hilarious.
If they'd waited a few
because-
more years, I'd
But
love
I
to
think
do
that's
Hocus
what they
Pocus
were
too.
wanting.
Yeah, they waited 27 years so that it could come out again.
Well, they probably like waited and then like they were like, oh, we should do this, and they're like, wait,
coming
we
out.
should just wait like 3 more years and then like look
Yeah,
at
that's
what
exactly
we
what
did.
happened. I don't know. I think they're gonna ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
Remakes
oh no, they
don't.
definitely will. Disney Channel's
And
kind
even
of
it might
Right.
be it might be like kids that watch this one for the first time have never seen the original. it
mean-
might be a good movie.
Have you seen any of the shows that they come out with recently?
I can't watch any of
No.
that stuff.
They're
It's just,
literally
it's
all
horrible.
awful.
You know what? You know what's better than those shows? What's your B show that you love so much from last episode?
Maya the Bee.
Maya the Bee. I bet it's
Maya the
better
Bee.
with the penis
Right.
drawings.
Yeah.
Brad, what do you think about Hocus Pocus? First of all, time out. I have that exact same game. I'm on the Immortality egg. Just want to put that out there.
Good for you.
What egg are you on?
I don't know.
Brad's playing Eggs Inc., which is a new app that came out for the iPhone.
The lithium.
The lithium egg. You'll catch up to me eventually, Brad. Sorry. Side note.
Oh
Sorry.
my
Back
God,
to
Jordan!
life.
No one cares.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus.
You realize that's like 3 past yours, right?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I thought mine's like one of the last ones.
Oh, Jordan isn't the best at something.
Most things.
Oh no! What are we gonna do?
I hate it.
Brad, you need to delete the app. Brad, but Hocus Pocus, what do you think? And Chris is
Yeah.
on her Instagram apparently.
Oh,
Snapchat
Oh, sorry,
and why?
Snapchat.
I don't know.
She's bored.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Y'all
Move
going
on.
off on
Did
your
you
little
like
tangent.
Hocus Pocus?
I liked Hocus Pocus.
I mean, was it like
It's-
is it one of yours?
it-
You're like, oh,
It's
on.
not something I have to see like
Yeah.
every
I mean,
year.
yeah, I don't really have
if
to
it's on, I'll
see-
watch
Yeah.
it.
I mean, to me,
but
there was like a handful of shows like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, Luck of the Irish, Smart House were like my top tier Disney Channel original movies.
because they played it every year on the
I liked-
same holiday.
Oh God,
Well,
what was that little
not Luck of the Irish. Luck of the
vampire?
Irish.
That
part
and
of St. Patrick's
Adam's
Day.
But it's
Family.
the
Oh my
holiday.
God,
Smart
Adam's
House,
Family, yes.
Well, that's
I
on
think
Disney
that
Channel.
was like no. I'm talking about like Halloween movies that because
The original one though, not.
well,
not the second. The second one was okay, but the original one was.
all
Awesome.
I think about is because like ABC Family does movies and they do like the 13 Nights of Halloween or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just what we always watched. That was always on my house,
Okay,
like TV.
Can anyone like talk about how the fact that Harry Potter is like somehow like all that I don't know.
It's
Day
every
play.
every
It's like
weekend.
Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter
weekend
Yeah.
every weekend.
I like Harry Potter month, and I'm like, I love Harry Potter, but dear God, who decided that Harry Potter is going to be played in the fall?
Well, I'm
Oh,
pretty
my
sure.
wife's already decided that we're doing a marathon of all the Harry Potters before Halloween.
Well, y'all should definitely come to my mom's Halloween party
I'm in.
because it's fantastic.
Can I be a sexy witch?
Yeah.
I'm in.
I
Live
mean,
your life.
you have to be sexy.
As long
to be a
as
sexy
Brad
witch.
can be my broom.
No.
All right.
I
never
bought my
mind.
mom a broom that
I'm busy that
sweeps
day.
itself.
That does
for-
what?
It like sweeps. It goes around and sweeps.
Oh my
and
gosh.
She was like, I absolutely love it. And 'cause
We
she
saw
has
it
the
at
whole
Cracker Barrel,
Yeah.
and we're like, we have to have this.
So I found
for
it
Kim.
on Amazon for like $60, but I was like, well, can't put a price on your mother's happiness.
Yes, you can.
Nope.
It's
$40.
exactly $60.
$60
I
is
love
past
my
that
mom
number.
a lot.
So let's go ahead and go around the table. Hocus Pocus in the remake. Yay or nay? Brad?
Probably nay.
Devin?
Definitely nay.
Kristen?
No.
And it's a nay from me.
Nay.
I'm a motherfucking horse right now.
Nay! Now I think to wrap up the episode today, I think a good thing would be, since we're getting into Halloween finally, and since we're going to be talking about some scary
Getting
stuff.
into Halloween. Haunts
getting there.
open like mid-September.
on.
The
Goes up to
beginning of
October.
September.
They
Haunted
do.
Hotel opens September 1st, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no one gives a fuck about Haunted Hotel.
Whoa!
Damn.
Whoa! Whoa!
It was alright.
Well,
I haven't been to that one yet. I've been there once a long time ago, but I haven't. My go-to every year is Field of Screams. That's my go-to.
I've never been to
And
never
the, and
been.
the Darkness Falls.
We need to go to.
I like the outside ones. The outdoor one's better.
Darkness is
He
alright
gets
this year.
claustrophobic. You put him in a
You know
Again,
what?
room.
we
I'm not
have
even
to go
kidding.
back
I like
because
being
we
able to
went
knock
to
and
7th
run
Street and
in any
Asylum
direction.
opening
But it also
night.
makes it easier for
So
a
we
random
need to
killer to
go
walk
in.
into the haunt and just kill people.
I don't know. Jordan just keeps talking so over us. So
This is
whatever.
a random killer. I worked in an outdoor haunt. Fucking awful.
Why?
I work.
Because you were
Oh my
out in the
God.
elements.
In the elements.
It's off. Okay, there was
cold.
one season that I was Carrie. I was in this like sleeveless dress, drenched in blood, standing in the middle of the woods. It fucking like sprinkled one night, just all night, and I'm just like,
Shit, man,
fucking
Well,
hate
you're probably
everything.
screaming for real, so it probably helped your character.
But yeah, all I do is just scream and
I sat in my first year. I sat in a train car, like, and with running water, and it was so cold.
Yep.
And like there was no warmth because even the floor was metal.
My first 3 haunts, like my first 3 years working at a haunt, they were all outside. There was like one I volunteered at, and then I worked at the drive-in for 2 years, and it was outside. And then
Well, here's what I want to know. I'm gonna nix what we were supposed to talk about because I have something better I want to talk about now. I want to know what happens.
The Jordan Show.
No
one knows.
Jordan.
I want to know what happens at a haunt in between guests coming through. That's when I want
all
to
Okay.
kinds of
Because
shit.
everyone always see, I mean, because when guests come through, like, oh, the guy pops out and walks behind him for a minute,
This.
and then what? Like, how
Oh
long?
wait,
how
I
long
got a
generally?
better one. How much you would have bet?
How long generally is it in between people coming through?
It depends.
Like on average, like on a busy night.
on
How,
a busy
Zombie
night.
City, we had a specific. Sorry, I was turning away from the mic. With Zombie City, we had a specific time limit because we were basically a time taunt because everything had a script that we had to follow, and so. I mean, on really busy nights, we'd try and cut it as much as we could with still giving them, like, most of the story until, like, you quit caring anymore and you're like, it's 3 a.m, fucking leave.
Why are you at a haunt at 3 in the
Lots
morning?
of Snapchats that you just take because you're really bored. This is my skeleton friend that I sat on his lap every night. He wasn't real, but our love was.
I have a Snapchat of a
Tank.
a tank of a
You're
very
getting a
large
shout out.
man. Yeah, I love you, Tank. You
There's
the bomb.
lots of we're just bored and we just do stupid shit.
So you just hang out and just do whatever the hell you
Well,
want.
it depends
kinda.
because you only can hang out with the people that's in your scene.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to make new friends.
So
But-
what was the worst thing that's ever happened? Not necessarily that you did, but you have seen someone do in between waiting for people at a haunt.
The worst thing.
Like the thing, like you're not.
I
something
mean,
you're not
I'm
supposed-
90% sure when I worked at the drive-in that some couples would go off and
Oh, hanky panky and
yeah.
honey.
We literally have rules against that because of that.
Oh my.
Because
see-
people just wouldn't come back to their scene.
Oh,
And you're like, bitch, I need you.
People
Get
are
back
just
there, pump
walking
it out, and
through.
get back. I think we should open our own haunt. We just do it right here in the basement of Brad's house in our podcast room. Just walk them in and make them listen to us do a podcast live, and they can
And their like
leave.
ears are bleeding and they're crying and they're like, please stop.
Because when people don't, they get on here, they listen to us talk for 30 minutes, hopefully, and they leave. They don't realize all the torture that goes into. We get here, we sit around and talk and yell at each other for an hour. Then we're on thing for 30
yell
minutes.
At each other. We all yell at Jordan.
Yes, everyone yells at me for an hour about what we're gonna do, and I won't let them do.
So hopefully this will load because.
What are we doing?
Okay.
Shit like that as it goes on.
So I'm watching a video of someone uncontrollably dabbing. Here it comes.
Here it goes.
I would pay much more money just to sit around a haunt when no one's going through it than to actually go through a haunt and see what happens.
We like hang out and we talk, and sometimes we eat or drink because we have to, or like we run and pee.
You do have to eat and drink.
And
No matter who you think you are.
so like we get in conversations and shenanigans happen because we're all
Right.
like tired and like on energy drinks.
Looking up like summoning rituals for Lilith to try to pull like good real dialogue and like praying that
we
you
lo-
don't
one
actually
time,
summon a ghost.
The guy
My
you saw
God.
uncontrollably dabbing, he had like this rubber chicken that he called his cock.
Oh.
And
Clever, original.
so like I was a guide, and so I'd come through and we'd improvise our scene every time. And so he just pulls out this rubber chicken and he's like, "It's my cock." And I was like, blank, blank, okay. And so in between a scene, because if we didn't have people, I could go back to like the butcher scene, like a shortcut, so I could just like talk to them because I didn't want to sit by myself. And he threw his chicken, and it somehow ended up on the roof of a different. No, it was in a tree.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like in that specific portion, it was just mostly like a couple
There's,
trading
like,
cards
a
and a
tree.
building, and there's like a tree way in the back. So I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but he somehow
The demons got it.
because he would put it on like a metal rod so he could swing it around, as most people do with their cocks. And I guess it like swung off,
Yeah.
and we couldn't find it, and we
Well-
spent all night trying to find it, and then I climbed on top of a train car to find it, and it wasn't there.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Has anything ever spooky happened at a haunt you've worked at while you're waiting? Like, has anything been like, oh, this place might actually be haunted?
There's stories, other people, but I haven't had anything.
People getting killed in the
personally
haunt or
happen to
something?
me.
No,
No,
we
just,
had,
like, we had a
Yes,
friendly
there's people
ghost.
dying.
yeah, we had none of the stuff that happened at our particular, like my particular haunt was necessarily like mean or anything. It just was a lot of like, if there are like ghosts and stuff, they're just being playful and everything. And so there's just a lot of like uneasy feelings and like seeing shit out of the corner of your eye that you're like, no, that's just a strobe light.
Hopefully, it's just the strobe light.
And then, and if you're a college student, you're also studying by like blue light in between groups because you can't see.
Yeah. So you. I see. I see. So I mean, hopefully, I don't want to give too much away about what we're doing this October.
I'm sure we're gonna talk about something later about etiquette in haunted houses.
Yes, we're gonna talk a lot more about haunted houses.
Twat.
Our two main stars on the podcast are haunted house girls. We're definitely gonna talk about that.
Haunted house
We're main stars. There's 4 of us.
We are hoping to maybe
it's
get a
not
video
me.
inside a haunted house and do some interviews there. We're hoping to get into an actual haunted location and do some stuff there. It's locally here, so fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
Plot twist: it won't be Waverly.
Plot twist, no, it won't.
Anyone like listening that works there could be like, fuck this bitch.
I mean,
All right.
they're kind of
They were
Waverly-
strict over there.
no,
about
but
who-
like Waverly people are kind of like mean to haunted house people.
they're better than everybody. They're Waverly Hills.
They like think they're
They're
better
actually
than everyone.
haunted.
They're
else.
actually. Why do they do a haunted house if you're actually haunted?
Exactly, and they don't do it like themed towards.
No.
Like they could just use the same rooms and
Yeah.
maybe like build a little.
One year I went they
construction
did Alice
through
in
'em.
Wonderland.
But no, they just do like werewolves and like vampires, and I'm
They're
like,
just living their lives.
So just be sure, guys, to go down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel that way.
biased.
below.
Make sure you subscribe down below and click that notifications button so you're getting all the updates that we put out. Everything we put out is going to go straight up onto our YouTube page, but also
Hey.
make sure you check our Facebook and our Instagram. The girls will always be updating you on all the fun stuff.
well, we try.
That we're
Jordan
doing-
tells us when things happen.
Yes, what we'll be doing there. Be sure to be ready, guys. This October is going to be great. It's going to be fun. We're all going to have a great
Hey,
time.
Jordan.
And send us some hate mail.
There's a
I would love
web
some
on
hate
your
mail.
mic.
There's a web.
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
Well, look at there. I did it. I put myself in the zone, I think.
I think the spider's the main star of this.
He's just whispering sweet nothings into the microphone.
Like, we're going to be like, talk, and then we're going to listen back. It's going to be, what the fuck is that? And he's like, hello, listeners.
Well, everyone, I'll try this one more time. Thank you for listening to Awkward Everything. As always, guys, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Jordan Ledge. With me, as always, is Kristen Wilson, Devin Rogers, and Brad Witt.
Yes, I'm still here.
Wow, for some reason.
We'll see you all next week.